All right, hey, what's up, everybody? It's Richard Cooper. Today, we're doing an audio segment with Frank McDougall. He's going to share his total debt freedom story. We don't have a video feed on this Skype call just because our connection's not the greatest, so we're going to do this with audio only. But Frank, you came into our program with nearly $70,000 worth of credit card debt. Tell me the before story. Like, what was going on in your life before we got involved?
Well, before I called you guys, I had three different credit cards and a line of credit, and was overdrawn on my bank account. And there's a bunch of different circumstances that led up to, accumulating all that debt. But the biggest factor was once you start having multiple cards, multiple debts, the interest, just the interest payments alone, kind of outstrip your ability to keep up with it. And we eventually started having to use a card to pay off another card, like bounce payments around.
Right.
That's why I was in really deep trouble.
Got it. So you went looking around for help. What sort of options were you considering in that time?
I looked up a debt restructuring. I tried phoning all the credit card companies looking to lower the interest rate.
Okay.
And they pretty much basically laughed at me. The only place that helped me was one of my banks with a Visa. They lowered the interest rate from 18.5% to 11.9%, and that was the best they could do for me. I tried to get a loan or a line of credit to just bundle all the different debts up, but obviously it was impossible because all my credit was used up with all the debt already, and you can't transfer all the balances to something else without having enough credit to cover all your debt again. And instead of just what you have, you'd have to have twice the amount of credit in order to transfer that debt, because they won't let you what I call self-medicate. You can't bundle it all up if you're already maxed out in your credit. They won't transfer it like an item from one shelf to another.
Got it. Okay, so you tried talking to your credit card companies. They didn't want to talk to you. You said they laughed at you. You tried to get a... Sorry?
A couple of them did, yes. They actually chuckled on the phone.
Really? Wow. That's nice.
I also called up a place called... that's another company. They made it sound like they were going to give me a loan for 5 years and pay all my creditors a fixed amount over the 5 years from the loan payments. It turned out it wasn't a loan. It was just a consumer proposal in disguise.
Oh, okay.
And per month was way more than I could financially handle. It was $1,977 a month.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you even looked at talking to a trustee in bankruptcy, because they offer bankruptcy and consumer proposals. You tried consolidation. You tried talking to the credit card companies. That didn't work out. Then you found us.
Yes, I did.
So talk to me about your experience with the company. I mean, you were with us for several years. I'm just looking at your client screen here. Uh-oh. Let's see if we can reconnect. Like I said, guys, this isn't the greatest connection. We'll see if we can come back on. You still there with me, Frank?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're good. So let's just continue. That's just a technical difficulty. So just looking over at the screen, it was roughly $75,000. I'm seeing settlement amounts totaling just under $30,000. Does that sound right to you?
That sounds correct, yeah.
All right, so we saved you a ton of money. You came into the program with $75,000 worth of credit card debt. We got you out of debt for under $30,000. What was your experience with the program, the people that you dealt with here? You did it probably considerably faster than a consumer proposal, because those usually run for 5 years. So talk to me about the after and during experience for yourself.
First thing I did was I did a Better Business Bureau check in your company. It came back with an A+ rating, so it was either minimum A or A+, I can't remember. So that instilled a bunch of confidence right away.
Awesome.
And then when I talked to the very first person I spoke to who assessed my situation, it was like you were talking to your neighbor instead of some business person on the other end, which was much more comforting. So that was pretty good right from the get-go.
Great.
But I hate when you're in that much distress and you're talking to someone who's so clinical and so cool, but then I call your company and it was like you're talking to your neighbor or your best friend about it.
Right.
So that was a big plus.
So there's a big level of comfort then, and you're up in Ottawa, right?
Yes, I am.
You're an ex-veteran. I know that you've you've kind of moved back into the normal workforce. You got on the plan for how many years was it? Was it 3 years?
It was projected to 3 years, but I did it in two and a half, I believe.
Awesome. Okay, so you finished it up a little bit quicker. What was your experience with the people at Total Debt Freedom? Like, how did you find the way that we handled stuff?
Oh, it was great. It was like you guys were like my brothers and sisters, like how siblings stick together.
Awesome.
That's how I described it when I dropped into your full offices last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. Yeah, I believe it was last year. It was like I was standing with my siblings, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing. It was amazing how much support they gave me. Besides the job itself, the actual nuts and bolts of the job, the support they gave me where it felt like I was talking to my siblings, basically.
Awesome. So would you recommend us to anybody that you knew that might be struggling with credit card debt?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. All right. That is pretty much it. I think we've covered it. You know, we've got the before story, the after story. Super excited about you taking the time to share your story. You know, there was actually a moment where you know, when you were in the office and we talked personally about some lobbying stuff that we were doing because credit card companies were trying to change the legislation, and you're very helpful there as well. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this Skype video / audio testimonial and everything else that you've done. I'm super excited that you saved so much money and that you were pleased with the company too. So do you have any parting words, any advice for a new client, like a newbie, somebody that might be considering doing business with us that might still be skeptical?
Yes. Don't worry. Actually, you guys are real pros at what you do. And like I said, you guys treat me like I was one, you know, a sibling, right? Like a brother when I talk to you. And you guys, your crew know exactly what they're doing, and they know exactly what they speak about. And all the stuff they told me came true. So there was no falsehoods. There was no leading me down a garden path. There was no what they predicted would happen. I think 99.9% of the time happened. And you guys were a great buffer in between all what I like to call predators instead of predators. Basically, there's a reason why that word rhymes.
Yeah.
And you guys were a great buffer in between. It was, and you guys were so patient and so helpful that it may be scary starting out, but because you haven't, you know, obviously you haven't done it before. But as a client, don't worry about the first 2-3 months. Those are always the hardest when you get used to the calls. But after that, it becomes your crew makes it so much easier.
Awesome. Well, again, thanks tons for taking some time to have a chat with me today, you know, on the record. I'm going to throw this on our YouTube channel under the client reviews. You know, there's a whole bunch of others there. So, guys, if you're listening to this, I know we don't have video today, but there's a bunch of other videos there, so just check them out. Again, if you've got any questions, you can just shoot us an email. If you want to reach me directly, it's just ceo@totaldebtfreedom.ca. Thanks a lot, Frank.
No problem, Richard. Have a great day.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.